Good afternoon. Just give us a moment. We'll be starting momentarily. Good afternoon and welcome to today's lunch break with the Rabbi. Today is Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. As we always have discussions and we talk about different facts in Judaism, as I want to put it out there again, that please feel free to email and message me your comments, questions, or further questions that you would like the class to be on. We do discuss the weekly Torah reading, and we do that at least twice a week, Monday and Thursday. But if there's any other subjects or questions or comments that you'd like us to discuss during these classes, please let us know so we can make them available so that you can hear them and that other people can enjoy it as well. So today, we are going to talk about something which is very common, a phenomenon which people talk about a lot, and a word that goes around and sometimes a little bit abused, if I should say. But there's no such thing in a good thing being abused. They used to say a story about this fellow, a Jewish patriarch to a large family, was put on the witness stand. And the prosecution says, Mr. Goldstein, would you please state your age? So he says, Keinhora, 81. The judge says, please state your age. He says, Keinhora, 81. So the judge again says, please state your age without saying any adjectives to it. So he says, Keinhora, I'm 81 years old. Again, the judge says, you're going to be held in contempt if you just don't just say your age and nothing else. He says, Keinhora, 81. The judge is getting really agitated. Finally, the defense gets up there and says, Mr. Goldstein, Keinhora, how old are you? So he goes, 81. Very common was always found. You ask somebody, how you doing? They say, what are you doing? Keinhora this, Keinhora that. I don't want a Keinhora. What I want a Keinhora, Keinhora. What's a Keinhora? What's this Keinhora that people are talking about all the time? What does this mean, Keinhora? So the word Keinhora comes from the word Kein Ayin Hara. It's a Yiddish phrase that no evil eye should affect it. But what does it mean to have an evil eye? What does it even mean, an evil eye? Who can have an evil eye? And this takes us back to biblical times and even Talmudic times, where the Mishnah says as follows. The difference between Bilam the evil and Moses the righteous. The difference between two types of people. There are people that have a good eye, and there are people that have a bad eye, an evil eye. What does it mean, an evil eye? An evil eye means, or let's start with the good eye. Let's start with the positive. A good eye means that they see something, they see somebody accomplish, doing well, they're happy for that person. Everything they see, they bless. They look at it in a kind way, a benevolent way, a positive way. They have clear glasses. Their vision is a positive one of what they see in the world, of what they see in another person. They don't hold people in contempt or jealous or arrogant or feel bad for that person. On the contrary, they feel happy, cheerful, and good and blessed for that person. And because of that, King Solomon says that a person with a good eye not only blesses, but is blessed himself. Because the way you see other people is a mirror reflection of the way you view yourself. That you yourself also feel blessed. But then there are the people of the students of Bilam the evil, who look at every single person with an evil eye. What does that mean? They feel jealous, they feel contempt, they feel arrogant, narcissistic for that individual that may be successful or even not successful, for whatever the person may have. Now, why would that make a difference? Why should it make a difference? Because somebody else looks at me in contempt, why should that affect my life? And the reason is because God measures the world or judges the world in two ways, either with judgment and scrutiny or with mercy. And generally, God looks at us with mercy. But when somebody starts to scrutinize our behavior, it evokes a certain level of scrutiny from God. And therefore, that scrutiny looks under a magnifying glass to see, does or doesn't that person really deserve it? It is for that reason every single day we see in our prayers that God protect us from an evil eye. It is for that reason that we find in Jewish law that there are certain laws of privacy to protect from an evil eye. In fact, the Talmud uses the terminology, a blessing is only found by something which is hidden from the eye. Because if we flaunt what we have, then people become jealous and it arises scrutiny. But if you don't flaunt it, then there's no scrutiny and you're able to live in the level of mercy. There are many different things out there that people say protect from an evil eye. Very common is the red string, which has made waves across because celebrities and everything of the sort wear it. There is no biblical or midrashic or Kabbalistic source for such a thing. Officially, they take that red string and they take it around the tomb of Rachel because Rachel was blessed that an evil eye shouldn't affect her, and then they go and market it, but they have a very good marketing strategy, so therefore that works for it. Some people have a chamsa. Chamsa has no source in Jewish religion as well. Some want to say it was taken from the Turkish or whatever the empire that the Jews lived in at the time, and it was become adapted to Judaism, and some want to start learning some Jewish explanations into it, but there is no real Jewish classic source that we can find back to the Talmudic time to mention about it. We do find Tehillim and other different spiritual things that can help a person protect them from the evil eye. There's even a little thing that they, if you know, very often and found, and there's people say when they look at a child and they go poo 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 to the child, oh, this child is so beautiful, poo poo poo, which came from actually an old ancient custom that when they would see the child, they would like spit at the child to take away the evil eye, and that's where it came from, poo poo poo. But these are all different customs or rituals or things that don't necessarily have any source in any classic source of Judaism. But what Judaism does tell us is that the way we look at the world, God gives us. In the words of the previous Rabbi used to say that his father once told him that God gave us two eyes. Two eyes, because with the right eye we have to look at spiritual, and with the left eye we have to look at the physical. But with both eyes, they have to be looked at in a positive way. Everything that God gave us in this world, we have a choice to make, to decide to look at it in a positive way or in a negative way. And it's usually the glasses that we put on to be able to view things in the way we see them. It's not coincidental that last week in the Torah reading, when God tells Moses to go down to Egypt and tell the Jewish people that God is going to take them out of Egypt, Moses finds every excuse in the book to try to not go. One of them was that he has an older brother, Aaron, who Aaron might be upset that his older brother, that his younger brother is being chosen as the leader. And God says something very interesting, that Aaron will come and he will see you and he will rejoice. Aaron's disposition was one that he saw everything in a positive light. He was happy for every person. He didn't bemoan. He wasn't upset. He wasn't jealous. Even if his younger brother is being chosen by God to lead the Jewish people out of Egypt, on the contrary, he was excited and he will be excited for you. God is telling us that we should adopt a disposition of Aaron to see everything in life and be happy for everybody. When we are happy for other people, when we see things in life in a positive light, look things through a positive lens, we don't only see people better, but we ourselves feel better. But when we bemoan and begrudge everybody around us, that is from the students of Bilam. That is evil at its core. Because what you're doing is, A, you're arousing and awakening scrutiny for the other individual, and B, you yourself are causing yourself to be aroused within scrutiny. So you're hurting yourself plus the other person, while a good eye blesses yourself and blesses the others. This is what our sages tell us in Ethics of Our Fathers. The greatest blessing somebody can have is to have a good eye, even more than a good heart. Because a good eye leads to a good heart. A good eye leads us to be generous, to be kind, to be benevolent. This is the type of behavior that every single one of us should adapt. Be a student of Aaron. Be a person that can see everything with a good eye. See everybody in a positive light. You don't have to be the judge, jury, and execution. You need to be the one to be able to bring blessing to every person you meet, regardless of who they are and from what walks of life they may be. Rather be the one to bring the blessing to every person than be the one to look at that person and be farbissen and to be upset and jealous and egotistic and narcissistic and feel bad. Why does that person have it and I don't have it? While you can be the blessing in your life and in everybody else's life. So Keinhora, God blessed you with happiness and health, and he will continue to do so. Continue to be a positive light, a positive force in your life and in those around you. God bless you. I'm looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Again, if anybody has any questions, comments, or discussions they'd like to have on this issue, any other issue, please text me or put them in the comments, and God willing, to be able to discuss them in further classes. Thank you for joining us today. Also, one more announcement, which is we are starting our new JLI course starting February 2nd. On Tuesday, it's in person and online. That's JLI course on Journey of the Soul. What happens to the soul in the afterlife? What's going to be? You can sign up on our website, jewishally.com, and join us for this wonderful and fascinating course. God bless you. Have a great day. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.